Today's book summary is of The Present, the gift for your happy, successful work and life, written by Spencer Johnson. Spencer Johnson was a physician and management consultant. He was also the chairman of Spencer Johnson Partners. He wrote famous books like Who Moved My Cheese and co-authored The 1-Minute Manager. In today's summary, you'll discover an inspirational story. You'll learn how to deal with regrets, worries, and problems. You'll also learn how important it is to understand the significance of the present. That is, the importance of today. So let's acquire this present through this summary titled The Present. Firstly, take a pen and paper and note down those mistakes for which you felt guilty last time or were worried about in the future. It's likely that your paper will be filled before the end of the day. It seems that humans have a fascination with thinking about tomorrow and yesterday, but they don't have the power to change either. One thing you can control is the present, that is, today. There are many changes you can make right now. This summary will teach you how to let go of your past and how you can also shape your future. Both of these involve focusing on the present. So, are you ready to change your life? Let's begin this journey from the first chapter. Chapter 1. Before the story. Bill and Les worked in the same office. After some time, Bill decided to join another company while Les stayed in the same company. They were not very close to each other, but they respected each other's work. One day, Les heard that Bill was performing very well in his company. Les was very stressed, so she contacted Bill. Les asked if they could meet for lunch. Bill agreed immediately. When they met at the restaurant, Bill noticed Les' fatigue. Dark circles under her eyes and lines on her forehead were noticeable. They started talking while ordering. Les explained that she had been promoted, but she hadn't come there to show off her promotion. She came to show how stressed she was. If she solved one problem, 10 more would arise. Les was feeling angry and frustrated, and she didn't know what to do now, so she went to Bill for help. Les saw how happy and relaxed Bill was. When Les told him how much she enjoyed her job, Les felt impossible. Bill said that when he first heard the story of the present, his life changed. This story is about a boy who found a way to make everyday life and work fun. Les was eager to hear the whole story. Bill said that different people learn different lessons from this story. It depends on the situation and feelings of the individual. Another thing Bill reminded Les was that she might not believe in this story. Les was one of those who didn't believe in such stories, but she still insisted that she wanted to hear it. And so, Bill began telling her the story of the present. Once upon a time, there was a little boy and an old man. Despite the age difference, they became good friends. One day, the old man told the boy about the present. It was called a present because it was the best gift. The author of this book has used the word present very wisely. In English, the word present means both a gift and the current time. The boy asked why the present was so precious. The old man explained that getting a present helps you enjoy things more. It will help inspire him from the first day. Due to his young age, the boy didn't fully understand what the old man's present meant, but he was amazed to learn about it. Like all children, he also forgot it while playing with his toys. Over time, the old man saw the boy growing up. Playing with his friends and classmates, the boy often laughed. When he was cutting the grass, he was playing the city. A few months passed, and the boy suddenly remembered the present. He went to the old man and started asking about it. He thought whether the present was a magic wand that would fulfill his wishes. The old man started laughing and then said that the present was not a magic wand. He tried to explain to him that when the boy gets the present, he would not waste time dreaming during the day. Several years passed, and the boy slowly came of age. It was the time when the boy began to be more satisfied. He needed more friends, more games, and more money. He thought about the present again, which the old man had told him. The boy went back to the old man and started asking about the present. Could it be something that could make him rich? The old man answered calmly that in a way, the present could make the boy rich, but that did not mean being rich with money and gold. The present would help the boy get what he needed and help him understand what success really meant. The boy was even more confused. The old man gave him some examples. The present would help him build a better relationship with his parents or get a part-time job after school. The old man asked him what the boy was thinking when he was cutting the grass. The boy answered that it was a good time because he liked what he was doing. He also earned money. Then the old man asked what the boy thought when he cut the grass. The boy answered that he did not think about anything else other than cutting the grass. He thought how the grass could be cut in difficult places and how it could be done well. His mind was completely focused only on the lawn. The old man replied that the boy had told him why he enjoyed doing that work so much. But the boy couldn't understand and became restless. He said, "Tell me, what is the present?" But it doesn't work that way. The present is a gift for yourself. You cannot receive it from someone else. Hearing this, the boy stormed off in anger. Several years passed. Now the boy had become a young man. He had decided that he needed to find out what the present really was. He conducted deep research, read hundreds of books, newspapers, and articles. He asked about it from family, friends, and friends of friends, but in the end, he still couldn't understand what the present was. Frustrated, he gave up his search for the present. Life went on. He got a job in a local company. He was doing well, but he felt a kind of emptiness. During work, he often daydreamed about a good job or a better life. He became unhappy and irritable. He didn't get the promotion he thought he deserved. His performance at work started to suffer. His romantic relationship also didn't succeed for long. He was unhappy with his life and didn't know what to do. Then he remembered the present again. It had been a long time since he thought about it, but he became restless to know more. After all these years, he decided to meet the old man. The old man was very happy to see him. They told each other what was happening in their lives. Even before the man could speak, the old man saw how unhappy he was. They talked about the present again. The old man repeated what he had said before. The present is something that needs to be sought without anyone's help. But when he thought about his time, he was happy, focused, and successful. He began to understand some things. The old man suggested that he should take a break from his daily routine. So the man decided to rent a cabin in the mountains. It gave him time to think, relax, and spend time with himself. The man kept thinking about the present. Looking at the chimney of the cabin, he noticed how beautiful it was, and the one who made it was not just a mason, but an artist too. He was amazed by the intricate design of the chimney, but he started thinking about what the mason might have been thinking while making it. Was the mason worried about his future? Was he thinking about other jobs he had to do? Was he worried that if the work didn't go well, what would happen? These were all negative thoughts. So he tried to look at these things from a positive perspective. Suddenly, he remembered a question the old man had asked him when he was a child. How did you feel when you were cutting grass? At that time, he felt quite happy and content. He was only focused on the grass. He didn't think about what he would do after that night. He didn't think about what his future would be like. That's when he realized what the present was. The present means to fully focus your attention on the thing you are doing right now. Focusing on the present brings you happiness. This focus and attention will lead you to more success, which will make you happy. You will appreciate all the things that are happening with you. The next day, the man went to the old man again. The old man understood that he had found the present. He saw that the man was smiling and filled with freshness. The man explained what the present was, and the old man listened carefully. The present means to completely focus. There will always be situations where things will be right or wrong. If you focus on the right things, it will help you become more effective. As you have been preparing for your partner's birthday party for weeks, you made sure everything was right, but then many guests arrived late. The cake was delivered late, and the weather didn't cooperate that day. If you don't know about the present, you will be disappointed and angry in such a situation. You will get annoyed and the whole evening will be ruined. You will not try to make that evening memorable. Just sit on the chair all night. But the person who knows about the present will react differently. You will accept that some things will not go according to plan. Instead, you will focus on the things that are going right. You will be happy to see how happy your partner is because of this surprise. You will also see how well everything is going despite being late. But the man had a question for the old man. If you are experiencing pain in the present, what should you do? The old man admitted that pain is one of the deepest emotions. It really hurts us at that time, but the good thing is that moment will pass too. Dealing with pain is not easy, but instead of avoiding it, you should learn from it. You can distract yourself, but you will only forget it for a while. After that, it will grow and it will be difficult to ignore it. The man did not understand this, so the old man asked him to remember his past relationship. When he had a girlfriend, how much was he present with her? How did he handle the problems in his relationship? If you want to use the present, you have to think about these things. Like in a relationship, difficulties will come, which cannot be avoided. So how can you use the present in this situation? Instead of avoiding problems, face them. An example of this is not getting angry with your partner while washing dishes. Instead, calmly ask him for help. Thinking about the past and worrying about the future is very easy, but you cannot change these things. Yes, but you can take care of your present. Before leaving, the man quickly wrote down what the old man had said to him. A person should always focus on the present. If you are doing something wrong, he then discussed the present once again. The old man repeated what he had said before. The present is something that requires finding without anyone else's help. But when that person thought about his time when he was happy, focused, and successful, he started to understand slowly. The old man suggested that he should take a break from his daily routine. So, that person decided to rent a cabin in the mountains. This will give him time to think, relax, and spend time with himself. Thinking about the present, he looked at the chimney of the cabin. He saw how beautiful it was and that the one who made it was not just a mason but also an artist. He was amazed at the fine design of the chimney. But then he started to think about what the mason might have been thinking while making it. Was the mason worried about his future? Was he thinking about other tasks he had to do? Was he worried about what would happen if the work didn't turn out well? These were all negative thoughts. So, the person tried to see these things from a positive perspective. Suddenly, he remembered a question that the old man had asked him when he was a child. How did you feel when you were cutting grass? At that time, he felt quite happy and content. He only focused on the grass. He didn't think about what he would do after that night. He didn't think about what his future would be like. That's when the person realized what the present was. The present means focusing all your attention on what you are doing right now. Focusing on the present brings you happiness. This focus and attention will also lead you towards success, which will make you happy. You will appreciate all the things that are happening with you. The next day, he went to the old man. The old man understood that he had found the present. He saw that the person was smiling and filled with freshness. The person explained what the present was, and the old man listened carefully. The meaning of the present is to completely focus. There will always be situations where things will be right or wrong. If you focus on the right things, it will help you become more effective. As you have been preparing for your partner's birthday party for weeks, you have ensured that everything is fine. But then many guests arrived late. The cake was delivered late, and the weather didn't cooperate that day. If you don't know about the present, you will be disappointed and angry in such a situation. You will get frustrated, and the whole evening will be wasted. You won't try to make that evening memorable. You will just sit on the chair all night. But the person who knows about the present will react differently. You will accept that some things cannot go according to plan. Instead, you will focus on things that are going right. You will be happy to see how happy your partner is because of this surprise. You will also see how well everything is going despite being late. But the old man had a question for the person. If you are experiencing pain in the present, what should you do? The old man admitted that pain is one of the deepest emotions. It really hurts us at that time, but the good thing is that that moment will also pass. Dealing with pain is not easy, but instead of denying it, it should be understood. You can distract yourself, but you will only forget it for a while. After that, it will increase and it will be difficult to ignore it. That person did not understand this, so the old man asked him to remember his previous relationship. How much was he present when he had a girlfriend? Did he pay attention to her? How did he handle the problems in his relationship? If you want to use the present, you have to think about these things. As difficulties will arise in a relationship, they cannot be avoided. So how can you use the present in this situation? Instead of avoiding problems, confront them peacefully. An example of this is not getting angry with your partner for washing dishes. Instead, calmly ask them for help. Thinking about the past and worrying about the future is very easy, but you cannot change these things. Yes, but you can control your present. Before leaving, the The person quickly wrote down what the old man had said. People should always focus on the present. If you focus on what is going wrong rather than what is going right, you will be happier. Pay attention to what is happening with you. A few weeks passed. By focusing on the present, the person noticed several positive changes in his life. He became more attentive to work and became more productive, which made his boss notice. This earned him praise and respect. He realized that the way to get promotion was to focus on the things he had previously overlooked. But the person started to feel that focusing on the present was not enough. Recently, he had been thinking about his past continuously. He was thinking about his past and the things he could improve in his work and relationships. He felt that he was not a capable person. So, he decided to seek help from the old man. Upon meeting the old man, Bill understood that it's difficult to forget the lessons learned from the past. He realized he had been dwelling too much on past mistakes and missed opportunities. His progress was hindered because he wasn't learning from them. He kept telling himself he had made mistakes and lost opportunities. Such a mindset prevented him from moving forward and focusing on the present. Therefore, it's necessary to learn from your past. Failing to learn from your past mistakes will have another negative consequence. Bill was still confused, so the old man came to explain. If Bill is unhappy with the present, he needs to think about the past. He needs to think about how to correct his mistakes and present. Mastering it takes time. You won't learn from your mistakes immediately, but slowly you will learn. Don't be too harsh with yourself. Now Bill wanted to learn from the old man's words. He started paying full attention during office meetings. It was the way to use his present, but he also wanted to use the gift of past. One day, he got the chance. He had a colleague who had failed to work with him. It wasn't the first time that she had failed to do the work given to her. So he spoke to her, who was upset about her performance. He advised her calmly and offered to help if needed. At first, the girl was suspicious of the advice of the person who told her about her mistakes. When someone tells their mistakes, they naturally become protective. She became angry, but later realized that the person was trying to help her. Then he accepted her advice and improved his performance. The person's life slowly began to improve every day. Now he started focusing on present forever, when it is not easy to focus on present. But in the end, he could not understand what present was. Losing, the person gave up searching for the present. Life went on like this. He got a job at a local company and was doing well, but he was feeling some kind of incompleteness. During work, that person often dreamed during the day and thought about the past. The past helped him to improve and get better, but he had another problem. His work had grown a lot. When he woke up in the morning, he began to feel stressed. He had no daily routine and he didn't know what work to do at what time. Instead of focusing on the biggest project, he focused on the smallest project and felt lost and frustrated. Then he decided to meet the old man. In the next meeting, the old man began to understand the concept of the future. In between, the person shut the old man down. He was worried about thinking about the future and was worried that he would be disturbed if he thought about his life. Thinking about the future would also distract him from his present. The old man understood his troubles and would try to find a solution in the next chapter. Worrying about the future and its construction. It is normal to worry and fear about the future, but the elderly wanted that man to create his future and not worry about it. But how do you make your future? It depends on your current actions and beliefs. What you are doing now has an impact on your future. So, if a person does positive work and believes in positive things, then his future will be bright. The same can be said about negative things. For example, suppose a person believes that he will not be able to reach his goal. This negative thinking will reduce his self-esteem and affect his performance. There are 3 steps to create a future. Appreciate the present. If you do not appreciate the present, your future cannot be good. Imagine the future. Think about how your future will look like. Making a practical plan. Create a realistic plan for better relationships and do those things that can help you in this plan. No one can say what will happen in the future, so be prepared that things will not be as per your plan. But you can think like this about your future. You are doing such things in the present which will make your future better. You are preparing your future for success now. With this mindset, maybe you won't worry about the future. Imagining the future and making a plan for it is necessary for a bright future. The elderly gave the advice to that person to make his future better than the present. The man was confused. How could he do this? Then the elderly asked some questions whose answers the person had to give. These questions will help him to connect his future with the present. For example, consider that a person is focusing on his present. He should think about what is positive and how it makes him feel, such as he is in a meeting. He can find positivity in a boring meeting that everyone saw and appreciated his hard work. He felt that his identity has started to be made and he feels proud. To make a good future, he should think about what can make his future good. Does he want to move forward in his current company and reach a high position, or does he want to develop his skills? The man decides that his high position in the company will help him. To do this, what are his plans? One is that he is doing well in his current role, responsible and energetic. In this way, the man is definitely making a future that he wants. After listening to the story, Lisa was feeling quite inspired. She realized how easy it was to make her life better. She told Bill that she would apply all the lessons learned in her life and tell Bill about its consequences. A week later, Lisa called Bill and invited him to lunch. When they met, Bill noticed a new Lisa. She was smiling and full of energy. She explained how the lessons from the story had changed her life. Lisa's boss used to often recount her past mistakes. Initially, Lisa would get angry, but now she realized she didn't want to stop learning. Lisa also worried about her future because she wasn't preparing herself for it. Bill's story helped Lisa stay more present and engaged. It made her realize that life isn't just about her job. She had a son who needed her attention. Lisa struggled to find time for herself and her loved ones. Gradually, she started living according to the present, past, and future. She began sharing the lesson from the present with others too, hoping it would bring positive changes to their lives. So far, we've read and heard about the main points. Let's reiterate them. Lisa's story. Lisa is a woman with whom anyone can easily relate. She used to feel stressed, tired, and disappointed with her life and wanted to get rid of it. The story of the present. A story of an elderly person and a young child that teaches you how to stay happy and stress-free. The lesson of the present. is to focus on what's happening with you and appreciate it. Learning from the past. If you're experiencing sorrow in the present, it's time to think about what you've learned from the past. Making plans for the future. Instead of worrying about the future, imagine it and make plans. Appreciate your present and take time to understand it. You can't change your past or future, but you can certainly do something about your present. At this moment in your life, appreciate what's happening and strive to give your best every day. The purpose of this summary is to understand our present, learn from our past, and plan for our future. This summary concludes here, hoping it brings positive changes in your life.